Help yourself, guys, okay? We don't have to be, continue to eat, continue to whatever. All right, let me say this thing that Sawyer just told me. He is going to email a link for a tutorial kind of overview of the new board. And it is a YouTube thing, and it is coming out to our sound guys. All right, so he will send you that, and it's just something that you can start now to get your eyes on, to watch how that board works, watch the functions, and that will be a little bit helpful. You'll have had some visual before we actually get in there and get our hands on it. Alex, I don't know his last name, is a guy who's a sound guy who does sound at Kingsway, I think in Glassboro or the Cherry Hill. He runs all the campuses, so he's a very experienced dude, and he is going to come with Sawyer on the 6th of July and set our board up and get it balanced and ready in here, okay? So if you guys can watch that, he will send it to you. Eric. Can come on the 6th? Yeah, what day of the week is the 6th? A Wednesday? Yes. Okay, can you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was going to say, when you send that link, make sure all our sound guys get it. And then if you will follow up with, hey, we're coming at such and such on the 6th, any of you guys can be here, right? Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Eric. And Melissa, you come. Okay. I'm going to jump back in before we get into Planning Center. We're going to look at Planning Center and Worship Online. But let me go through this communication thing real quick, okay? I said this was a biggie, and I had left it for last, but it's a biggie, and it's going to be first, all right? If you are on this team, you have an email associated with your Planning Center. We're going to talk about Planning Center in a minute. I would like everybody here to please check that that email address is what you will check for Planning Center. Here's what I'm saying. The email you check for communication with me or others on the team should be the email that is associated with your PCO account, okay? You should also update as much information as possible on your profile, okay? Your cell phone for sure. So when you go into your Planning Center, which we're going to get into, your profile should have your cell phone and the email that you want to hear from me, even if you don't want to hear from me, okay? Bless you, okay? We need a correct cell phone, a correct email. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let me talk about this. Why email? Why not text or social media? Can you text me? Yes, you can. Can you Instagram direct message me? Yes, you can. Facebook? Yes, you can. I do all those things, okay? I text a lot, all the time. But group communication, okay, things that are not emergency related are going to come out in emails, okay? It's the world that we live in. If you have a Facebook or a Snapchat or any of those business that the young kids have, you had to have an email to sign up. You have to. Email is a thing that is not going away. It's still anchored, okay? Even if you use another app, you have to have an email associated. We're going to communicate group. A lot of you guys have heard this before. You're like, all right, Dana, we know. But we are going to communicate through email, okay? Part of being on this team is a commitment to check your emails. If you have 17,000 unread emails in a Gmail account, that is a problem. But there are people here today who can help you either create a new Gmail account that is just dedicated to church stuff, okay? If you are somebody who has 17,000 emails and you want help with that, guaranteed. Okay, we're going to come back to that one second. We can have some of you are like, well, I have an email account for my work. Okay, that's fine. Have an email account for your work, but can we make an email for Dana Ott at Hope Christian Fellowship and or Planning Center and or Kylie and or Tanner? Probably. Okay, I'm not going to lie. She'll do it for you or somebody else. All you guys are smart enough to know how. Amanda just made a comment. You can make me, my address, Dana Otta, Hope Christian Fellowship, or whatever. You can make it a VIP. Everybody know what we're talking about here? If this is confusing and you're like, but I never get your emails, Dana, if that's you today, please don't leave without talking to somebody who's under 30. Or they're an IT guy or a smart media guy. I'm like, okay, we can do this, but I think we have to do it together, okay? And the commitment to checking the communication is part of that, okay? I'm gonna go into that. I'm gonna go into that in a second. In order to help some of this from falling through the cracks, I am going to start emailing through Planning Center. She already does it when you guys get, obviously, all of our normal stuff. Hey, it's time to block out your dates. It comes from Planning Center, but I think it says Kylie Austin, okay? When I do it, I'm just like, hello, it's me over here at my computer, and my name is Dana Ott at Hope Christian Fellowship, and then you're just getting that from me. I am going to shift, and the reason I'm going to shift is because on Planning Center, there's a tab called Messages or Communication. If you go there, even if you don't open your hundreds of emails, you will not miss a message because I am now emailing through Planning Center, okay? If you open your email every day, like probably most of you, I'm going to say probably most of you, open your email every day, you're still going to see it sit in your email. You know what I mean? It's just going to be in both places now, okay? And that's going to help some of it from falling through the cracks, okay? It is going to go to the email you have linked with the account, though. So make sure you don't have a random or I barely use that one, okay? Like use the one that you're going to use for church or for this team, okay? Back to texting or other ways to communicate. Communication is vital in a team like ours, especially with the reality that I think we're going to grow. I think there's growth coming, okay? I have a personal goal of responding to texts the same day. I have a personal goal of returning emails or responding to emails within 24 hours. Okay, I don't always answer. I don't always have an answer, I don't always have the answer, but I try to let you know that I got your email. Do I miss the target? Yes, I do. Okay, it happens. But I'm going to go a little bit mom mode on everybody here. If you are one of those people who just says, oh, yeah, I got your text, oh, yeah, or, oh, yeah, I'm just the worst, I never respond to texts, or, oh, yeah, I was going to follow up with you. If you are, I'm just going to ask you to take a closer look at what's going on. I'm not going to reprimand, I'm not going to line you up in swats, but I understand that sometimes I'm not in the mood to talk on the phone, you know what I mean? But email and texting are so easy, and it's valuing other people's time by just responding, okay? And I know I've been somebody who's been like, I cannot believe I never answered that. I've scrolled through a text, I've opened it, I've gone back and been like, I had an out loud conversation with myself, but I never actually responded to their text. It happens. I'm not saying we're perfect, but I think that we all have to say, okay, but as a part of this team and we used to say a good citizen of our family, we are going to have as good a communication as we possibly can. Okay, and that means we have to respond on these things. Okay, the last word on this. Here's a quote, two quotes that ring so true. 1, confusion is the killer of progress. And 2, systems and over-communication is how we love our team. Okay, who would vouch that confusion is the killer of progress? When we want to do something but we don't understand how, we don't get to do that thing. We're confused. It does not help us in moving forward, okay? The paragraph under that went on to say, communication is how we show that we value people and their time. It's how we avoid stress, miscommunication, errors, rushed projects, etc. Over-communicate to people. And if you think there might still be some questions, communicate it even more. As much as we'd like them to, people can't get inside our brains and know our interpretation of information. Don't leave room for assumption, okay? If you've got bad news or you think it's bad news, and so you're afraid to let somebody know what's up, communicate it. It's going to be okay, no matter what it is, okay? If it's a change in something unexpected, please communicate it. You've heard that phrase, knowledge is power. I don't know about that in every situation, knowledge is power, but in our context, I do think it's applicable. When we don't know what's happening or there's confusion, we get stuck. We can't move forward. We make mistakes. We waste time. We assume things about what you know or what you know you don't know. If we have the knowledge, okay, knowledge, here's where the power comes. We can reset. We can reach out for help. We can reschedule something. We can work through it toward an answer, okay? So knowing about it, communicating it, puts the power in hands to find the solution, okay? So we have to all participate in communication. It is vital, vital for all of us, okay? Me to you, you to me, and then you to each other, okay? Can I ask for a show of hands? How many of you have reached out to someone, they haven't responded, and you've thought, they clearly don't care, they clearly are way too busy for me, this doesn't matter to them? Right? And you know what? Sometimes it's not that. It's not. But there's no other, we just go, well, I guess that's what it is. No, it's not that. It's that my phone broke. Remember that time your phone broke?
My phone really did break.
Her phone really broke. And I'm texting her, and then I'm texting her mom, and they're like, oh, her phone broke. I'm like, so you know what I mean? It happens. Worst day of her life. I mean, it happens. But I'm thinking, Eva, it's okay, but I don't want to bug her. I don't want to bug her about it. It's not that big of a deal. And it wasn't that at all. It's that she was not getting my texts. So, bye, honey. So we have to just be like, no, it matters. We're going to respond. We're going to respond. Whatever your personal goals are, I've told you mine. I try to respond every day, every same day on text, at least within 24 hours on emails. Whatever yours is, let's just all say we're going to take one more step in communicating. Okay? Now we're going to jump into this part with Planning Center. We introduced Planning Center Online, or PCO, 3 or 4 years ago. It's massively helpful in multiple ways. It has been a huge help, okay? But just because we've had this tool and this resource does not mean everybody here in the room has been using it for 3 or 4 years, okay? Some of you are newer in this, or you just haven't used it, or maybe you haven't used it correctly, all right? We want to use it because it is a way that we communicate. Planning Center is our catch-all for all the things, okay? We've said this before, if it's not a Planning Center, it didn't really happen, okay? But it's like this. Planning Center, if you think we've got a schedule, or we think it was this, or you had a conversation with somebody, but it wasn't on Planning Center and you didn't get a notification, we either dropped the ball, or the communication that happened out here is not Bible. None of it's Bible, but it's as close to Bible as we're going to get if it's on Planning Center. Okay, so that's why we want to use it and use it well and understand it. Okay, we're going to do a deep dive into it because I want to make sure everybody is in the loop. Some of it will be a reset, some of it will be refresh, but it might be new. If you hear something new, great. Okay, this is I'm an admin on this, and this is the laptop view. Okay. The guts of what I want to go over is on everything, but your view may look different. Would everybody at every table, at least one, if not more of you, open up your Planning Center app so that we can see the mobile version in comparison to the laptop, okay? Because you might go, wait a minute, where was that? And if you've got it, we can kind of go every table, all right? More the merrier, in my opinion. One more thing. There might be something I pull up you have never heard before. That's okay. That's why we're doing this, all right? So if you find that to be the case, don't feel bad if you need to stop me, all right? We will do that. I don't want anybody to leave confused just because we didn't ask a question, all right? So here is what I want to make sure we're doing. Set up your profile. I mentioned that, okay? You can go to your profile. You should be able to have a correct cell, a correct email, preferences for being scheduled, and how you want to be notified for serving. So, who has gone in their own and said, I only want to serve twice a month or once a month? Emily, you've done that. Martin, you've done that. Okay, so we've got people, Ryan, if you're like, how do I do that? Ask somebody at your table, okay? You or jot it down, preferences, and come back to it, and we will go over it. If you're like, my preference is that I'm only serving X times a month, it helps me and Kylie, when we go to schedule, we don't necessarily see a block out, but we see a preference. And sometimes it's like, hey, Emily, I know you said 2 times, but, or whatever, we're going to do it in such amount of quarter. Can we, even though it's going to be 2 weeks in between, it's going to be 3 because there were 5, is that okay? We can have that conversation because I've seen her preference, okay? You can put those things in. It's helpful if you do. It's not a must, but it's helpful. You can also put how you want to be notified for serving, okay? I'm not going to lie. Push notifications, it's kind of like one of those words that I think I know what it means, but I get a little confused. I think that means you're going to get it notified. You're going to get a reminder on your phone, okay? You're going to see it if you have push. You can set that to be push notifications. I want to be reminded, okay? You are, no matter what, going to get a reminder that you're on. We send it out Wednesdays, or well, we don't send it out. It comes because we've already put it in there 3 days before your practice.
So if it's a Thursday, you'll get it on Monday.
If it's a right, midweek, you'll get it on a Monday. When you guys get those, you can have it sent to your phone, or you can have it sent to your email, or you can have it sent to both. Wonderful. Okay? Now, let me jump into that real quick. Sometimes we do this, oh yeah, I know I'm on, and we're done. And you forgot, you got the notification because it's a midweek practice. Or, you know what I mean? It's like, oh. Or you're on, you play 2 instruments, and you come here with your gear or the electric just to find out you're a bass player because you weren't you know what I mean? So we're going to be like, pay attention. When it comes up, at least look at it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Everything's normal, 5 o'clock or 4:30, whatever it is, and I'm on the bass this week, okay?
It's been in my email until the actual practice passes.
I love that.
So I just leave
You
it
see it.
because I read my email every day. So I just
Good.
leave the email.
Okay, so email or cell phone. You can get notified either way or both ways. Please do the thing that works for you, okay? How do we set that up? Who can help Viscount set that up? You know how? Will you do it right now? Kara's going to come right now, Viscount. Thank you. I'm going to talk about something that does not pertain to Viscount right now, so he can do that. Cheat charts. I'm sorry. Stage layout. Stage layout. What are we talking about? You should be able to go to your plan on your app. We didn't do one for today, did we? The stage layout, this is for the stage, but it will help the sound team as well. Where are you standing? What are you plugging into? Okay, especially electric guitars and vocalists. Who's standing where? This is tomorrow's, okay? Obviously, we have a smaller team for tomorrow. We are going to put you in there. So let's say it was Kathy and Becky were our vocalists. You would see not only Kathy, you would see which mic is Kathy at, okay? If the sound team looks at it before the Sunday, you know what it is. They're right here in person, so you don't have to do a lot, but that helps us know what we're doing. It helps you know sometimes if we've got 3 electric guitars, who's on here and who's plugging into 9, 6? Whatever it is, channel 9, okay? That's the stage layout. Cheat charts.
Where's the stage layout again? I'm sorry.
Somebody show her stage layout. Should be under plan.
On your plans, you should be able to find that under files.
Can you go to one where she's scheduled? Okay, perfect. So you know what?
I have one on there, but do you see where it says Spotify playlist for today? Yeah. It would be
That's
in
where
that
you'll
same
see it.
area.
It'll say stage layout in that under files.
Chart would be there as well.
Uh-huh. And we're going to talk about cheat chart right now, okay? That's where you'll find them. Cheat chart. The cheat chart is our flow of the day, okay? This is a cheat chart, all right? It will be under that same file, under plans. Who needs to open this? The right answer is everyone. The band, the vocals, the live stream, the sound. Media, you don't necessarily have to because you're going to be able to see these songs, but it's not bad for you to, okay? As we get more detailed, you will need to, because we're gonna try to start adding things like transitions and segues and things like that, okay? Everybody needs to open it. Everybody will see what's what when we put them on there. That's what a cheat chart is, okay? On song charts. Media, vocals, and band. This can also be helpful for sound, but equally helpful is listening to the songs on Spotify, okay? On song charts, this is really good for media because it will show you the breakdown of the song, literally in order, okay? If you're like, well, we're doing a new song, that's not how it's dropping in from CCLI or Song Select or whatever we use. Your backup, this is, I said nothing's Bible but the Bible, but this is Bible on how we're doing the song, okay? So it's going to be verse 2, whatever. We're going to label these things so that you're following that pattern, okay? That's the map of the song. So it's important for media. It's important for vocals, all right? And band, okay? Notes. That made sense to everybody? Notes are, let me talk about notes. This section is under files on your apps. Notes, okay.
No, it's its own category.
It's its own category, okay? Notes are important for everybody to read. I will always write it under general. It will be a general note. Prior to rehearsal, you will see that note go up probably on a Tuesday, if not before. That note will be like, hey band, hey gang, hey team, blah, 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 blah. If there's nothing that's very unusual, I might just say, there's nothing very unusual. Have a great week. Check out your stuff, pay attention, practice, I'll see you on Saturday. But that's a lot of times where you'll see where I will put on there, hey, we have XYZ that's gonna look different than normal, so be attentive to that, pay attention to that, read that note. I would ask you by Tuesday of the week you're scheduled, everything will be on and up to date, okay? So if you pop on there Tuesday, you got until Saturday to prep, and hopefully you've already listened and prepped even before, but by Tuesday, read the note, open it, and see if there's a note that I've dropped in there, okay? You put a note on for today, didn't you? Hi, everybody. That's what the note is. Everybody needs to read and open that note. That saves me from sending around emails, and it saves you from having to look for something random coming from me, because if it's happening on the weekend, I'm going to put it in the note plan, okay? Please open and listen to the Spotify playlists. Again, if you're an Apple, if you're an iPhone person, you can Apple iTunes? Apple Music. I'm sorry, I'm saying Samsunger. Yes, you can Spotify across that platform as well, but please listen to the songs. If this doesn't happen anymore, but I'm not kidding. We've been in church for 18 years. Over the years, there were people who were like, what are we playing tonight? I'm like, so that should never happen, because now we can resource you so much better. You should know. You should know what's happening, okay? Especially by the week of, but we've been trying to do it 2 and 3 weeks out. We should be ahead of time. So you don't have to wait till the week to be listening to your song list, okay? So be sure that you're doing that. Media Player is also a way that you can access that list through Planning Center. Okay, the only thing is it will play videos on YouTube, and sometimes they're not, that you got to click them forward, okay? Song files. Let's go to a song file. Let's look at what is in a song file. So just hit one of them for us, okay? So if you click on a song and you go to files, you're going to see the tutorial, right? You're going to see the on-song chord chart. You're going to see a YouTube link, okay? Those are important for the band, very important for the band. The tutorials for everybody on the stage team, we're going to go into Worship Online, okay? The on-song chord charts. On Planning Center or on Worship Online, they've made it really user-friendly. It's great now. But if you are somebody who's writing out your chords, I'm not going to fight you on that. You can do it. You can. But you can transpose on OnSong, or I can send you a transposed PDF in your key. There's there are a lot of ways you can do it if you don't want to write out chords. That just feels like an extra step. These guys allow you now, we're going to come back to it, but they allow you now to use that across the top and change the map of the song. But everything in there is not always correct or what we've decided to do. Okay? Sometimes there's things that are like, no, they're not playing the B and the bass over the G under the G chord. We want that. So we've made our on-song charts to be what we're all playing. Okay? So that's your best place for your chord charts. Yes, sir. No.
Your little slashy chords there, the E side of the, which one are the bass players playing again? 'Cause
The one to the left. That's okay.
I've never seen it before.
Slash, Oh, I'm sorry. I'm literally. It's a G with a B bass, so it would be the one to the right. Yeah, I'm sorry. G over. Yeah, think of it like a fraction. You're right. Say it that way. I know. Sorry, guys. The one to the right. That's a slash chord. That's exactly what that's called. That's actually on an assessment we're going to do in a little bit. Okay, and then the YouTube link is just going to give you, it's just the media player for it, okay? Anybody have questions on how to access any of that stuff, song files? That make sense? No, okay.
A quick question regarding the Spotify.
Yes.
Like through Planning Center, when I hit the Spotify playlist, that's fine. And it pulls up the Spotify. But I just tried to pull up like next week's.
Yeah.
When I go into Spotify, just generally under and follow, like under the following you guys,
Yeah, HCF Music.
that list isn't there.
I don't know what is happening with that, Eric. No. I know this because Craig and Lynn Shute are just people who are like, we want the list because we want to know what we're singing in church. And they're like, we love it. We listen to this all the time. And suddenly, randomly, they weren't getting any new notifications. Dustin corrected me one time because I had it set to private. And I'm like, what? I never set that, so I went back and changed to public. And then they showed up again. You told me the other day you're having the same thing as Eric. You can only get to it through Planning Center.
What happens is it's like, and then a week later or 2 weeks later, then it shows up. And it's like, or something. So the next time I'm on, it's like I see everything up until the week that I'm on.
So I don't know. Kylie has been uploading them. It doesn't make any sense. She's using her device, but she's logged into HCF Music, so it shouldn't matter that it's my device or her device or I don't know what's happening.
Like for example, I just pulled up my Spotify and it has like under see all playlist,
Yeah.
playlist where it goes from 4:24:22, lullabies, and then 7:3:22.
Can you click see all? I can't get to mine.
Yeah.
No, if you click see all, they're all here.
See all, and that helped you, but not you.
I have like I say, all the playlists.
So
This is crazy.
I'm gonna.
It's like next week, 6:26:22.
Like tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I don't know if this is it. I think Dylan might have told me this one time. I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete a whole bunch of old ones. Because somebody had said it might just be that we're
Like a maximum of 200 playlists on Spotify.
there was something. Okay, so it could just be that it's glitching on my end. So I made myself a note to go back and get rid of a bunch. And then if you guys will remember, anybody who's having this issue, could you just maybe like in 2 weeks let me know how it's turning out for you? Okay? That would be great.
For our planning center people.
Yes,
you'll be
for
able to get
Planning
to it
Center.
No matter what,
Yes.
because it will be on your week.
So if you're on and you're like, I don't see 420 or 626 on Spotify, just go into your Planning Center app. And that is super annoying. Right. Okay. So when it says song files, you don't have those files.
No, she needs a reboot on the app then, it sounds like. Did you update your app? Update
I don't know.
See if it helps. Go into the App Store and look for it and update it.
All right, let's do this though. Anybody who's having those things, please keep me updated because the last thing I want, even Kathy girl, that is way too much work for you. So if it's not working, I want to figure out how to help you with it. We will figure it out. Everybody should be able to get to that. Yeah, that's a lot of work to go and look them up. Okay. New songs, new keys, sometimes even new maps or arrangements get posted. So be alert, okay? When we do something new, in this view that you see, or this would be on your app if you open up the plan, I guess. Is that where you would see? Okay. Click on that. You'll see who's leading. Kylie is leading Glorious Day, the alto is Dana, and the tenor is Tanner. Obviously, this is a fake plan, guys, because we're not singing this today. You can do that even without opening up your cheat chart. You can see this is helpful for the vocals. This is helpful for the sound team. That just gets dropped right into the plan, okay? If I'm the alto, I got to know that's my part, and I can do that without opening the chart. Okay? It's under order. You see that on your apps? If you do order, you'll see this is the day, okay? Songs get posted, like I said, at least 3 weeks in advance, unless there's something unforeseen, and it has happened, but that's our goal. Josh? That is our goal. The only time that Josh asked, is everything added every time you add song sets? Yes, unless we have a new song. If there's a new song, sometimes it takes me, like when we plan it, I might have to create the on-song chart. And so then I'll be like, hey guys, don't worry, I'm gonna get that chart up, and then it will come up. But sometimes it's been just the week. That's never my goal. That feels like we're way late in the game. So when that happens, it's just that we've been behind.
And we usually put a note in the same place where we have the who's singing it that says add on song chart for ourselves.
When I have add-on song, it means don't forget, you gotta add that for the team. Okay, but everything else should be, yes, attached, okay? Okay, here's one, guys. Please accept your dates ASAP when possible. When we send out the schedules, we already are asking you to block out so that we're not over top of anything that you have on your calendars. Clearly, last minute things come up or people get sick. Like that's a normal thing. But when you can, we're only scheduling 8 weeks at a time, 8 to 9 weeks at a go round. If you can, when you get that request to serve and it's 3 times or 2 times or 4 times, whatever it is, if you can accept all your dates, where's my little trophy? I love this little thing. It says, way to go, your team leader is going to be thrilled. Or it says like hallelujah or something. Like it gives us like a
Sends us rejoice.
rejoice. So-and-so has no blockouts or so-and-so accepted their dates or whatever. So it's very happy day in the office when that happens. Please try to do that only because my assumption is if there's something that you're like, I'm not sure about that thing, we can always, if you don't know, just accept it unless you've blocked it out. Clearly, you won't be scheduled then. And then if something comes up or unforeseen, you can always let me know, hey, I accepted that date, but such and such is going on. It just happened with Josh and John. We just made a swap with you guys. You're able to accept it, which helps me know you've seen it. That's what a lot of it is. It's the communication part. You've seen it, you've seen the date, and oh, I got a work thing. It's not going to work out. Hey, and then we sent a text. We had a quick dit, dit, and boop, boop, and those guys, you switched, and it was super easy. Dit, dit, boop, boop. Done. Done. I'm a robot too. Okay, and that makes it feel like we just communicated. That's all. That's all it is. The easy to fix, okay? So please accept them when you can. When you decline like that, now we just had a quick text, and that was no problem. But when you decline, you can put in there, beep, beep, boop, boop. I got a thing, Dana. I didn't know. And then I can say, no problem. Sometimes it's this. You decline a date because you had a problem on a Saturday night, but you forgot to look at it that, hey, guess what? It was a Thursday practice. So your thing won't even conflict. And if you write that down, I can be like, hey, guess what? There isn't a conflict. Oh, that's right. Rejoice. I can still be on. Okay, so sometimes when you just put why you need to decline, it's more communication. So it just helps all of us. Okay? All right. Blockouts. Request and deadline for blockouts. It's kind of a courtesy that we do, and we're not going to stop doing that. A lot of churches just plop you in, and then they let you decline or accept. We try to do it like this. Oh, this looks like old cable TV. Yeah, right. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me talk about blockouts. Requests, like I said, guys, we send you a thing about 5 weeks before the new quarter. Hey, gang, am I losing you? About 5 weeks before the end of the quarter, we send out a thing that says, let me know in the next 8 to 9 weeks when you know you have something happening and you need to block out a date. Please block them out. And then you guys are the best. They come in floods, like, yep, blockouts. Remember that you can block out to Kingdom Come. If you know in 2023 you're going to, I don't know, Timbuktu, you can block it out right now. You can block it out, all right? We're going to keep doing it because it keeps us from headaches to not ask you. So, but you can block out anytime. We schedule 8 to 9 weeks at a time. We usually give you about a 1 week turnaround, just like, hey, please get it back to us by, okay? Again, things happen. We don't know. Emergencies happen. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about normal things. Confirm the request to serve. Here's another thing on the blockouts. Please, if you can, only block out the Sunday date. I don't care what you're doing on a Tuesday. Okay, I care, but I don't care. I don't. If you can't be here on the Sunday, or the Saturday, I'm going to assume you can't be here Sunday. If you can't be here for a rehearsal, except for live stream tech, that's different. If you block out the Sunday, I'll know that you can't be here on the Sunday. All I need is the Sunday, okay? If you're on vacation from a Saturday to a whatever, block out Sunday. Just block out the Sundays. That helps me. I know it's a little bit strange, but it actually is confusing, especially when somebody's like, I'm not going to go into why it's confusing, just trust me, it is. It's confusion is a killer of progress. So please block out the Sunday. The Sunday is what I need to know that you can't make a rehearsal. We try to put in there, hey, we got a midweek on such and such. Well, guess what? I work on Thursday nights, so guess what would you block out? The Sunday. Just block out the Sunday, because I know you can't do a Thursday practice. That helps me, okay?
And if you're unavailable for the Saturday practice, when you put in your block out for that Sunday, you can say unavailable Saturday. You can put a reason.
You can
in,
put why you blocked out.
Because then if there's an issue where we don't have an acoustic guitar player, but you're available, you'll be there this Sunday, maybe we can shift practice around so that
Yes.
we can actually fill our band for
That-
that weekend.
For the 21st, I have vacation, so I don't know the exact dates, and I may not be available for the Saturday, but I know I'm for sure gonna be there the Sunday.
Okay.
So I'm just like,
Okay, yeah, and it is a little bit. I'll say this, in Eva's scenario, she's not the master of her own, she's a minor. I mean, you got a driver's license, scary enough. But she's got a mom and dad, and she's got a schedule, she's got a school schedule telling her what's what. So I just mean, you're in charge, but you're also, everybody here, except for just you're living your life, conscientious of others, you're kind of your own person. You can decide what you are and aren't going to do. If mom and dad are going on vacation, you're on vacation. So, you know what I mean? But for the rest of us, we can be attentive to that. But we can work around those things, especially when you tell me why. Okay? Read the email that gets come out with the blockout request, because that's where we note those things. Hey, we got a different rehearsal. It's only the rare times that we're going to veer away from, if you can't be at rehearsal, we're not going to schedule you. That has happened. And we're like, yeah, it's just like, okay, we're going to do our best. Right. We're grateful that we have the ability to do that, but that's not our norm, okay? So, all right, taking time off. Not a week here and there, but weeks in a row. This is what I'm talking about. We have functioned under the following premise, which is this. You can block out as many dates as needed, and we will schedule around you, okay? That premise is still 90% true. I want to talk about this 10% though. We're going to tweak it a bit. I got 3 things. 1, if you are blocking out just 1 month or 4 weeks at a time, nothing will change other than I would like for you to tell me why, all right? Like, there's some things that are pretty obvious, or I got a vacation and I'm gone 2 of those weeks and I'm serving a nursery for the other 2, or what, like, I can't do it. It's 4 weeks. It's not going to work out. You can put the reason right up in your block out, okay? I'm getting married, whatever, all right? You can email, you can text me. Some of you guys already do that, and you tell me why. Hey, Dana, I need 4 weeks, and no problem, okay? Nothing will change, but I don't want to assume things. I'd like for you to tell me. 2, if you're blocking out more than a month or a whole scheduling period, so like 8 or 9 weeks, okay? I would like to know the why behind that too, all right? Sometimes there's an obvious reason, such as I'm having a baby, okay? Or I got shift work and they schedule it this way, so I know I can't do these 6 weeks in a row. I'm going to block out, the thing. That's fine. But I would like to have a conversation. I would like to know that that's what's happening. I don't like the assumption thing. The communication is helpful, all right? If you are blocking out months at a time like that, it's at least worth noting and keeping track of the why. Like, why is that happening? What's up, okay? Number 3, if you are blocking out 3 months or more at one time, in addition to letting me know why, because I care, you are going to be archived for that period of time. That sounds like you're in trouble. You're not in trouble. You're not in timeout, okay? I'm going to tell you why we're doing it, all right? On the functional and practical side of things on scheduling, that's why we're going to archive you, okay? You're not in trouble. You're not in the doghouse. It just means your name won't pop up when we're looking for holes to fill or somebody declined. You won't get looped in with communication that might be only kind of pertinent to the next go round. There's no reason for that. There's no reason to get emails or communication that are not valid to you. Like, we don't want to waste your time, okay? So you're going to go into that. Now, I'm not questioning your desire to serve at all, because I'm not going to question your heart. That is the furthest thing from my mind. But I would ask you, if you are taking chunks of that at a time, you might need to assess your availability to just be a active part of the team, okay? Like, I have an inactive list of people. Some of them haven't even come back to church since COVID. They're like on there, but they're inactive, okay? So it's just a way to go, like, it helps in all the functional part of it, okay? There are some obvious downsides to you taking off extended periods. It puts you behind the 8 ball in learning new songs, getting used to new stuff, like having an MD, or, you know what I mean, if you're out of the booth, like, wait a minute, what are we muting? What are we not? What's our new board? Okay? Like, those things are going to matter, and they're going to put you behind if you're taking off chunks at a time like that, all right? Like I said, with Tanner doing the MD, in the future, we're talking about backing tracks. Those kinds of things are going to put you behind if you're taking out chunks of time like that. If you've blocked out 6 months, there have been some on our team who have literally taken off 9 months at a time, just blocking out each time around. And it's kind of like I'm assessing it and saying, what's happening? You're just as loved, you're just as valued, but it might mean that you don't have the availability to be part of a rotating team like this for a while, and that's okay. Here's the great news, guys. The undoing of an archive is super easy. Click, and you're back, okay? It's super easy reversal on that. So everything will be there ready to go whenever you want to come back if you take off chunks like that. But here's another part that will be different. You need to reach out to me and let me know, hey, I'm ready to get scheduled again. I'm not going to bug you. I hope that I don't bug you anyway, but I'm not going to like, hey, are you back? Are you back each time? Hey, it's time for you to send your block out dates. I'm not going to do that. I want you to be like, hey, I'm ready now. Sometimes we need a break. I mean, has anybody in the room ever taken off? When we used to do it in semesters, like quarters, we take off 3 months. Like, some of you guys have been like, yeah, I had to take off that. Or, hey, I had a baby. Or, hey, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But if we're going to do it that way now, I really want us to be like, I'm going to archive you until we can put you back on. All right? So that's just something that's going to be a little bit different. in the ball's kind of in your court for coming back in, okay? Let's move on to worship online. This is the stage team, okay? Production people, you guys can get another Coke if you want. I want to move through this quickly, but I want you to not miss this. Well, you know what, before I go on, is there anything else on Planning Center? Yes, Rich. I'm glad I asked.
Maybe you guys, we can't look on anything but the weeks for schedule.
Yes, sir. That's right.
That is never gonna change?
Nope. That's how it's set up.
That sucks, pardon.
That's all right. Tell me why that would be valuable for you.
Well, instances where we know something is coming up and our schedule has changed, it'd be great to look and see who else is available.
Mhm.
Song list coming up.
Mhm.
Just
I got you, bro. We're going to, on that back bulletin board, is going to be a hard copy of everybody in the production booth. So you will actually be able to, like we used to have. So you can look at that for reference. 2, song lists are on Spotify, aside from the fact that we can't get on there right now. I don't know what's happening. You can go to any date, search by date, and see song lists, see song sets. So that's two ways that we kind of work around that. I'm not sure why Planning Center sets it up that way, but that's their, I can't change that. Make sense? Eric?
Just a curiosity question, what's planning center?
Mm-hmm.
If we serve in another area, like I know we're
Yes.
creating this as a team, we send the block out, okay, we can't, this,
Yep.
now we got 3 or 4,
Right, registration, we got greeters now, right? Or we got people, ushers, right? We're getting people on them. Let me talk to Kara about this. She's our expert on this, her or Emily. Because Kara schedules toddlers and registration. Tell me what happens if you are, let me back it up to try to answer, and then I'm going to get you for feedback. If you are blocking out a date because you are out of the country, block it out. If you are serving on registration, let's say, Cheryl, are you still doing that? Or nursery. Okay, so if Sherry's on my media, but she's on nursery team, for Kara, whoever schedules first
Gets the person.
will be the winner. Okay.
have to block it out.
Yes.
Block it out if you're serving in more than one area. If you block out, if you're scheduled
If you
for
block out,
worship team and you block out for nursery, then you've automatically declined your worship.
right. So we won't do it that way. You're just like, well, whoever gets me first is the winner.
It pops
That's
up.
fine.
When we put your name in, it pops up, it says conflict.
It shows
and
us
then
a
it tells us
conflict.
where you're serving.
Yep. So
we
we'll,
won't double book you.
hmm And if sometimes that's happened, and I've been like, hey, Kara, Bethany has a conflict because she's on your team. But guess what? All my girls are sick and nobody can sing. Okay, let me see what I can do. So that's how I will do it like that. I don't think there's anybody I would have to interact with you on, Kathy, right? Will I have people? But I don't have anybody here. Yeah, I don't think I have anybody that's serving. Ellen used to be. Okay, so that won't happen with you, but it happens with Kara. So I have been aware, like, okay, don't block it. You're not saying to me, hey, I can't serve because I've got nursery. Just don't block that out. Yeah, it will take care of that. That makes sense for everybody else? I don't think anybody else on this team is serving other than in kids ministry. And obviously, yes, that's right, AV and in the back. So same thing for you guys. Just block out if you're away, but if you're already, like, I don't know if he's going to schedule me, I will work that stuff out, and Planning Center will notify us. Okay. That's right. That's right. And August date, we were going to try to put you on, but you were in the back for kids, I think the 21st. So we're like, no problem. So that's how we get notification. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, let's keep going. Any other Planning Center? Anything that you're like, I don't want to ask this because it's dumb. I hope not, because I'm all for dumb questions. Okay, moving on to worship online. Please tell me I'm actually doing good here. Yeah, 2 o'clock is our break, right? Okay. For the stage team, this is for you guys. What is the same about worship online? It is, we're still going to link to the songs on PCO. We link to there. The songs, keys, and tutorials. Okay, nothing has changed. However, they They went like all out and they have reimagined their site and it's way more helpful, okay? You can now arrange the map of the song, which is what I was talking about before. If you were like, I'm going to use this and I'm going to have an intro, a verse 2, a verse 1, a verse 2, and then a chorus, because that's what we wanted to do, you can shift it around. See that? You can shift it around, and now you have it in that order. Now, having said that, we're gonna keep using on-song charts, okay? But if you're practicing at home or whatever, and you want to view that, and it's pretty close, you can put it in the order that you want to go in, okay? It won't change the video, the tutorial, but it will change if you want to play something at home, okay? Changing the key. This is the best thing they've done. If you go here to Mixer, so what song do we do? Goodness of God? If you go to the Mixer and you scroll up and you click Mixer, it takes it a bit to load, but it will move. Say they're doing it in the key of A, in A flat, and we want to do it in the key of G. We can shift it to the key of G, okay, by just going here, clicking on it. Now let me give you a warning. When they change it from like male-led to female-led or vice versa, it goes full chipmunk mode. It like they didn't re-record them. They just went, and it's not faster, but everything sounds like there'll be a male vocal, and he's like, praise for the goodness of God. It's not that bad, but they just shift it. So you know what I mean? You can understand it doesn't change speed, but it changes how it sounds. But you can still sing along and play along in the key. I don't even know that I would say I haven't spent a ton of time doing it with the band. Obviously, drums don't change at all. We don't care what key you're playing for a drummer, right? You're always in B flat. I don't know about the musician or about the electric and acoustic parts of it. I don't know if they sound maybe they're in different space, a little different. It sound a little different. Yes, yeah. But you're listening and you're watching your chords, you can play along, okay? So hit something.
You're gonna play it from down here in the mixer. You're not gonna go back up here.
Don't go up there because that won't change. So you're gonna go down.
This one is gonna stay in the same key that it was recorded in.
So you go to mixer, and then when you hit this guy, oh, yeah, sorry.
Does it have sound?
Yeah. Why isn't it moving, Kai?
IDK.
There's my volume, right? Oh, yeah, because we need it. Oh, yeah, you're right. We would have to have it plugged. That's all right. We're not going to do it. We don't have to, you can believe me on it. But I will tell you one thing. If you hit M, it will mute whatever channels are happening, which is helpful. And also, you can move these faders, move a fader down. They are hard to move, but you can do it, okay? So I'm just saying, move things down, move up what you want to hear, okay? Use the click. The click's still important, especially if you're practicing with it. But it will put it in your right key, okay?
Available on the mobile app or just on the computer? That's what I thought. I was gonna say.
Is it only, okay, so you got to use a laptop.
The mixer has never been available on there.
Okay. Thank you for asking that. I was not sure. Angelo.
I don't play with you guys, but there are certain times when people use capos, and
Uh-huh.
they don't, and you might want that. Is that indicated anywhere? Who's playing in capo and who's playing where the key changes on that?
No, I mean, like, if we're going to play a song in whatever key, the key of E, and they want to look at D shapes or whatever, they'll just keep, you know what I mean?
So you're not doing that for the sound mix then, to have some like a higher register?
Not now. No, I would say this. I would say this for Alina and Kylie and Sean and our acoustic players, even electrics for sure, but our acoustic players, what they do is kind of what we want to do. It does not. I'm not talking about like, well, they're in this key and we have to play in that key, but we're probably not trying to like capo up to 6 or 7 or something. It does change voicings. It changes that feel. If they've got a real full whatever, you got this. I'm walking into a world I don't always understand, but you want it to mimic the sounds that they're giving you on the tutorials. Make sense? Am I talking right guitar language? Okay.
So they're only changing in capo just because they like the shape of the
Usually,
status.
yes. Usually, and it should be pretty close. Now, I will say this: if we're going to go from the key of, if it's a male-led song and they're going to do it in B, and we got female-led, we're going to do it in D. I'm probably going to give you chord charts in D, and I'd like you to play it in D, right? Like we're probably going to, we're not. That just makes sense. You're going to hear it, but you're going to see your chord charts in the right key. Okay. All right, vocals. If you are scheduled as a harmony vocal, you will need to dig into a little bit with the tutorials. Most of our harmony vocals are our girls who naturally hear the harmonies, so this is going to be pretty simple for you. But there are times that I'm like, I really need you to sing, hey, you don't usually sing, tenor, but I need you this week for such and such. I will make sure that I note either in the general note or personally to say to you, on the tutorial, it's marked tenor, but your real part is marked alto in the key we're doing it in. Okay, so I'm going to do better on that. If you're, let's say, Kathy, let's say you're a harmony singer that day. You're like, all right, Danny, you put me on tenor, but we've changed the key. What does it mean? We can also have that. I can just all I can to help you. And you can reach out like, all right, I'm listening to this, and I moved it to my key, and I think I hear it, and yes, you got it right, Kathy. That's exactly it. Yes. So vocally, we'll be attentive to that. Okay. Let me talk through the tutorials with the band members. Okay, they are making this. Tanner was helpful to point this out for me as well. They are making these tutorials with and for churches who are regularly using backing tracks, like multi-tracks, okay? And that's why we've had this happen, like, hey, there's no guitar here in this part. Am I playing? We're like, oh, yeah, we probably should because we don't have everything that's going on those tracks. So I would say we have to be aware, like, what is that? How can we know what we're doing? One, ask somebody who plays that instrument, hey, what did you do there? Are we playing something there? Okay, like that's the best way. You also can go back to a live and be like, I had done that with Alina. I said, you know what? I'm not sure, but she played that song on such and such a date. Go find that live. And she was like, I found it. And I can watch and I can see what's happening. And so that's a good way to be like, all right, what are we doing in our context before we have, or when we don't have a backing track. Okay? You can listen to the artist recording of it. Put your earbuds in or turn up your bass and listen for what they're actually doing. Because if you're listening on your phone, you're going to get half of what they're doing. Listen with a speaker, and you'd be like, oh, I can hear it now. All right, so listen to what the artists have recorded. That will help you. Reach out to me. Don't wait until Friday. What are we doing here, Dana? Because I'm not going to lie. On Fridays, I feel like I'm done thinking about it. I kind of take a little break before I go into the weekend. So sometimes I'm like, what? All right, if you need something from me, you can reach me on a Friday. You can, but try to get to me on Tuesday. You can, but don't. Tanner is going to be doing more musical development as we go forward. That's going to help with all of us as a band getting a little bit better at the things we're doing. And I've already said it a bunch of times, backing tracks, multi-tracks, we're going to talk about some use of that, okay? And guys, we are 10 minutes ahead of our break. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Does anybody have questions on tutorials? Yes, sir.
It is possible to get the mixer on mobile.
Say it again.
It is possible to use a mixer on mobile.
Oh.
What you do is take it's possible on Chrome at the very least.
Okay.
Chrome browser, and when you open it up, the three dots in the corner or whatever.
Web view.
Desktop site.
Perfect.
We'll switch it to the desktop site. And
Okay.
get the mixer on mobile.
All right. So anybody who's in the band that wants to do it from their phone, go there. Website view, or what'd you say? Desktop. Okay. So you can do it that way. Okay. Awesome. So we got two. Okay.
Most browsers should do that, but I know it's on Chrome.
I'm going to mention something because it has come up from time to time. That, go back to Planning Center, if you will. Remember that when you open your plan, I think it's on plan or order, you will see who's leading the song and then who we have around harmonies. Now, there's sometimes, so let's say like for tomorrow's set, Kathy, I think it's just you, me, and Kylie. We're doing an acoustic set. Tanner's going to play some lead. Dustin's going to play the cajon. So it's a stripped down set for tomorrow. But I have, on the first song, Kathy girl, I didn't put you on. Now, remember, ladies, vocals, and our men who are singing too, sometimes it's because I don't remember what you have done or do, and you come in and you're like, I can totally add a part there. Great. Like, that's not, again, I keep saying it's not Bible. Sometimes I put you on a part, and then you guys, Tanner, are like, I don't sing on that because I got a whole mess of things going on with my, do you guys like how I play the guitar? A whole mess of things going on with my little guitar, Nana. Remember when she played her little guitar? And that's okay too. But I'll tell you what, if you'll open the order, not on a Friday, but like on a Tuesday, and say, I don't sing there. That one's hard for me to sing on. I got a lot going on my tiny guitar. That's fine, but it helps me know, okay, we can make a switch instead of it being like a last minute thing on a Saturday. Having said that, we have definitely made switches on Saturdays, and we can do that. You guys are very gifted, and I'm thrilled with the abilities you have. We can switch things on the fly, but the knowing it always helps. Alina.
Do you think that at any point in the future we could include the transitions or what you're expecting to be the transitions
Yes.
on the sheet?
Yes.
Because I think that would be really helpful to anticipate.
I do too. I do too. We actually talked about sometimes with even how we're like how the thing scrolls on OnSong. Some of that is because we've got an MD on stage, and so that is a very new thing to us. But that having him again, who has not been on the band when Tanner has MD'd? So there's like Tanner. There's a few. There's a few of you, and in the booth. Okay, obviously he's barely here. That is a new thing, but it's helpful, and knowing that he can say, hey, this is what we're doing here, helps. Like, I think you were on when we went in to Build My Life, and I was still praying, and it was like that. I couldn't have said, start, you guys, like I could do one of these, but I'm also thinking about what's happening. He can say, okay, here's the click, 3, 4, and you guys can do it, and that makes out here, it sounds flawless. It sounds like we just naturally all did it, but we did it because we've got somebody telling us what to do. So that stuff we can start to include. We didn't really have a need to before because whoever was leading was just kind of speaking their thing, and pads are already getting changed. But yeah, I think vocal interludes, if there's scriptures or if there's a segue that's spoken, we can start to include those, which I think I said, even opening cheat charts for people on media, and sound kind of know, okay, we know this is coming. Dana's going to speak, so you guys take off the delay or whatever. Okay? Yeah, good thought. Josh?
Oh yeah, yeah. I played with tracks before.
So like Tanner's gonna basically be that
Yeah.
prompt guy, put him on the stage, so that
Mm-hmm.
for transition producer, he's gonna be the guy that's gonna be telling, hey guys, we're running into this, or Tanner can speak to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's all in 1 week with him. It's just that when and I know it's like, transitioning into this new routine, but I just noticed that in the rehearsal, the first time we went through it, we almost did it without hardly any transition.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yes.
it really wasn't transitioned, and then it wasn't until the second time we did it. So then we only practiced the transitions like
Right.
once. So
I
if
actually,
knew what they were, we probably could have just, it might have been easier, but
right.
it would have been a little.
No, it's 100%, it's what we can do because everybody has come in and they know their song. So now we're like, hey, we're like next level. Now we don't have to come in and work out chords and work out timing. We know what we're doing, so now we can spend that time on that transition thing that actually helps make the flow of the set a little better. Okay, good guys. All right, you guys, now I took your time. All right, so I'm sorry.
One more thing that I just noticed, and I'm sure a lot of people already saw it, but in Planning Center Online, you can see your spouse's, like schedules. You
Okay.
can use like a permission request that has to happen,
Okay.
but I just noticed that, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, good. So yeah, I wouldn't have anybody, but yeah, like Karen Tanner or you guys or you guys or you guys. Like we have a bunch where it's like you can see that, and that's helpful. So, okay. All right, guys, you have until 2:05 Okay, 2:05, and then we're going to get into our last session.